have to just like slap yourself until you go past the wall of cringe. If you get addicted to the dopamine of attention, it can probably ruin your life.
Are you a Swiftie?
Yeah, Swiftie, major Swiftie.
What do you think actually happens when you die?
Nothing, it's all over like a Pogrob worm.
What are you afraid of?
When I was younger, I had nightmares of giant teddy bears. Oh, ever? I think I broke the treadmill.
It's a W.
W.
Welcome to Fast Ones, the show where we ask 10 questions in 10 minutes and we ramp from 1 mile an hour to 10 miles an hour. Today, I'm thrilled to welcome our guest to this show, Zach Pogrob, artist, author, runner, and leader of the Obsession movement. Zach, welcome to the show.
Let's go. Pumped to be here.
Let's go. First question for you. You've gained something like 1.8 million followers across all of your platforms in a pretty short amount of time, leading this obsession movement. What does obsession mean to you?
To me, it's if you look at the pinnacle of all extreme greatness across art, sports, business, Steve Jobs, Elon Musk, Mike Tyson, all these guys, all you see is obsession. And so all I'm trying to do is take this idea that's been around to me forever and kind of package it and brand it and create this type of new philosophy for people. So that's the goal.
You ramped really quickly once you really started dialing into obsession, how to wordsmith around it. You gained millions of followers in a pretty short amount of time. On day one of that, did you know that it was clicking? Like, what was that feel?
Yeah, because I've been doing content for like 3-4 years, writing all different things, always trying to find new thing, and experimented with this format of these animated reels, and it just hit. And overnight, it was like da-da-da-da-da, and your brain is just exploding. So yeah, I knew things were gonna change.
Who was your favorite artist growing up? Who'd you look up to? And then who do you look up to now today?
Well, I'll give one answer for both. I looked up to Casey Neistat a lot, and then we became kind of friends in New York City. What I love about him is he's just so prolific. Like, I really respect artists who put out a ton of work in their life, and he definitely did.
Yeah, do you think that's true of most of the greats, that they actually just have a lot of quantity below the surface that leads to that quality?
I think so. And you just don't see it at all.
Yeah, like you know the Mona Lisa or whatever, but you don't necessarily know all the scribblings of everything else Da Vinci did.
Correct. They were extremely prolific. Most of the artists I look up to, at least.
Yeah. One of the quotes I like there is that quantity has a quality of its own.
That's a great quote.
If you deleted your channel and started over today, what would you do?
The same thing I did originally, which was just like make something every single day. And I think a lot of people do that, but then it's make something every day and then make something better every single day. With content, it's the iteration piece, I think. That is the only way to get those like exponential outcomes. The iteration is everything.
If you were giving advice to someone who's just getting started today and they said, man, Zach, I love what you're doing, but when I sit down to do it, it's super cringe, or I haven't really found my voice yet, what would you say to that person?
You have to just like slap yourself until you go past the wall of cringe, right? And like your friends are looking at your stuff and your family, and you just have to, one day it clicks and then you get over that and you never think about it again. You realize no one's really thinking about you at all. They look at your stuff for like a second on their feed and then they're back to their life. So that's what I'd say.
I think for a lot of people, there is that moment with like their closer friends where like you get started using Instagram as like this personal tool to share updates about, you know, your birthday or whatever. And then all of a sudden you start with this different voice talking to like the internet at large. And a lot of times your friends are like, wait, like the vibe just shifted. Did you feel that? Do you have advice for someone who might be going through that?
If you want to shift that way, you have to have the right reason to do it. And yeah, it's a long-term thing. I think that type of thing, if you want to make content or create a name for yourself, you have to be in it for years or decades, or don't do it at all.
What would you say is the best thing about Instagram and the worst thing about Instagram?
The best thing is like the stuff you create just from your bedroom has the potential to reach anybody and people who inspire you. The worst thing is if you get addicted to the dopamine of attention, it can probably ruin your life, and like you'll just spin your wheels and do all the wrong things and try to become the wrong thing just because it's what the algorithm wants you to be. And I've tried not to fall down that path. What are we up to, 5?
Let's bump it to 5. Okay, what advice do you have for creators as far as separating the work from the audience's response to the work?
That's the thing. You have to always, it's like the Venn diagram of like, what do you like making, and then what does the audience like? And then like, what can you get paid for, basically? And you have to always have that balance. I think if you only do what the audience likes, it becomes a short-term game. And you really have to, if you're in it for the long term, you're willing to go up and down with the attention that goes up and down as well, and do your own thing.
Take a shot here.
All right, cheers.
Cheers. Cheers. What would you say is the biggest risk you've taken in your career?
Well, probably getting rid of my old business. I had a wedding photo booth company while I was doing the content. Biggest risk was selling that business and going all in on the content when I wasn't totally sure I'd be able to make it. but I just knew that like throwing myself into the abyss was what I had to do, and it worked out.
Yeah, you burned the boats.
Yeah, burned the boats.
Figured it out.
100%.
Okay, so you have this really distinctive aesthetic, this black and white aesthetic. It's kind of moody, kind of, well, you tell me, what does that aesthetic do for you, for your work?
To me, it's like kind of how I like to see the world. It's like gritty and dark. And like when I walk around New York, like that's how I'm envisioning it. And especially when you run too, like when you're in the dark place, like the hard part of running, like we're not there yet, but like when you're dying and it's like, that's, the world literally is black and white. Like you can't even see anything. And to me, like, I like painting that picture. That's, I don't know, that's how I like seeing the world.
Let's bump it. And then given that dark, moody aesthetic, what would you say is the most off-brand thing about you? Like, do you like puppies and pedicures, or what's the most you like singing in the shower? What's the most off-brand thing about you?
I love like, I don't know, sour candy. That's not that off-brand. I like girly music and hard workouts.
Are you a Swiftie?
Yeah, Swiftie, major
yeah.
Swiftie. I have a good playlist, the Dark Place playlist. There's just some random like feminine, girly songs that don't belong there, but some of them, they just hit.
Yeah, that's great.
I don't know.
Okay, what do you think actually happens when you die?
Nothing, it's all over like before we're born.
You've gotten into running a lot recently. What would you say is a common denominator between running and being a creator?
I think it's like pushing yourself to the extremes. And to me, it's like in running, you have to do that, especially with marathon training.
Let's bump it.
And as a creator, you have to do that as well, because the only way you're gonna get attention, the only way you're gonna stand out is if you are literally extreme and creating the thing only you can create. So for me, when I run, I find that like voice that helps me write a certain way.
Yeah.
That's why I like it.
You ran the New York City Marathon this year. What's the next big goal that you have?
I'd like to try to break a 2:45 in the marathon. My best one was 2:55 last spring, but I weighed like 210 pounds, and I'd like to see what I could do at like 190. So that's the goal, cut a bunch of weight, try to rip a great marathon in the spring.
That's an incredible goal, incredible accomplishment already. You have a ton of followers in general. Is there one that stands out in particular that's particularly meaningful maybe?
I don't know, there's so many. I'll give a shout out to like Andy Frisella, founder of First Form. He's someone who followed me like from the beginning. I had like 20,000 followers, and he just believed in me. He's like, you're putting out great, shared a bunch of my, and so I'll always like owe a lot of my success to him.
If you hadn't gone into art and being a creator, what do you think you would have done?
I was gonna be a doctor. I was going to school for pre-med, and I probably would have done it because I was just like bullheaded and determined. But I'm glad I didn't. That's the honest answer.
Okay, let's get some rapid fire questions here. What's at the top of your playlist right now?
Sympathy for the Devil, Rolling Stones.
What's top of your travel destination bucket list?
Hawaii.
What's your go-to emoji?
Upside down smiley face.
What does that mean to you? When you throw that out there,
Just
what does
like,
it mean?
Nothing really matters. Like, who cares? Don't take life seriously.
Okay, hot dogs and hamburgers.
Smashburger, Gotham Burger Social Club in New York. Go.
What would your last meal be?
Gotham Burger Social Club.
Hey, shout out Gotham Burger Social Club in New York. What's your favorite comfort TV? Ooh, last mile.
Recently, comfort TV is Arrow, the superhero.
What are you afraid of? Are you afraid of anything? Spiders, monsters?
When I was younger, I had nightmares of giant teddy bears. So I'll say that.
Well, what's your most prized possession?
I have a necklace that someone made me. It's like a follow obsession necklace. Maritime Supply Co. made it. Cool company. I like that. It's up there.
Sunrise or sunset?
Both. Try never to miss either.
Mountains or beach?
Mountains.
Coffee or tea?
Coffee.
Steak or sushi?
Steak.
Sweet or salty?
Sweet.
Dogs or cats?
Big dogs.
All right, and ability to fly or the ability to be invisible?
I'll fly.
All right.
Speed is addicting.
Okay, want to keep going? So with the failure
Sure,
point?
yeah, whatever.
What's next for you? What do you have coming up?
Working on a book, so I'll try to kind of capture all the ideas of obsession in like a Bible type of book. I think that'll be a huge thing.
What else do you do to stay fit besides running?
I like to run in the morning and lift every single night. Like just like light, like 30, 40-minute lifts. And it's kind of my routine.
All right.
Ever record on my, I think I broke the treadmill.
It's a W.
W.
So tell us more about this book that you've got coming up around obsession. Anything else you want to share about it, plug out to the audience?
The process is like have all this writing I put out there, put it into this like nice, beautiful package, and create a book that like, you know, someone wants to put on their bedside table and keep with them.
That's great. What's a book on your bedside table that you maybe look to for inspiration for this kind of thing?
Right now, it's there's a few. It's literally this. I love this book it's called Showboat. It's a biography of Kobe Bryant. Long biography, but it's incredible. I keep that near me all the time.
So your goal is if the book you make is that for someone else, or is this
not necessarily a book like that. That's like a biography, but like a book someone wants to keep next to them. I think a lot of people do that with like Daily Stoic,
right?
Or like some of Jocko's books,
or like the Creative Act, Rick Rubin's book. Yeah,
Correct.
It's like the Bible, like a
Bible for whatever they want to do.
Yeah.
And obviously the Bible.
The Bible.
Do that. But I don't know if I can compete with that. But
No.
That's the goal, though. Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool. Well, cool. Thanks for coming on the show. This rock.
Hell yeah! Awesome. Thank you.
Thanks so much for watching. Shout out to Temple Gym here in New York City for hosting. We love you guys, really appreciate it. Thanks for supporting the show. The best single thing you can do is smash that subscribe button and tell a friend. And you can always check out Ketone-IQ. You can check it out on ketone.com, or you can go to any store where we're sold. Check us out at Vitamin Shop or anywhere else that we're sold. You can scan the QR code on the bottle and try your first shot for free. Have fun out there.